Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to be talking about the 4 players that we should be looking out for during the Barcelona preseason. There has been a lot of players that have entered this squad in terms of buying new players and also introducing the young players that we have had through the academy. So it's a very exciting time. It's a very exciting time because, to be honest, like I have been waiting for the Barcelona games to start since like May, when the season was over 2 or 3 months ago. But we're back, baby. Like the preseason is starting, and we're going to be starting with facing Juventus. It's going to be in California, United States, and there's going to be a total of 6 friendly matches that Barcelona will be going through before we go into the first game of La Liga. And that is why I do want to analyze today and talk about exactly who should we be eyeing. Who could be those players that could blossom during the preseason and emerge very well at the start of the real season. And the first player that I do want to talk about is going to be Mikayil Faye. We have talked about this player before. He is a 19-year-old center back from Senegal, and we bought him for 1.2 million euros. And it's very exciting to talk about this player because he's young and he's a center back, and Barcelona are building for the future. I do think that this player is a player for the future. Mikayil was somebody that did pressure his agent to say, hey, look, like I know that I have other offers from other clubs in Europe, but I only want Barcelona. It's very similar to what Vitor Roque did when he signed for the club. This center back here only wanted to join Barcelona because he knew that this was the club for him. And now it was said that, you know, he lives very close to the training sessions on where he needs to be training at Barcelona, and that is why he's able to walk over there and just be there always on time and ready to learn. So Faye is a strong and tall center back. He's 6'1", and keep in mind again, he's only 18 years old, and he does have a great turn of pace with the ball, and he definitely knows how to win a lot of defensive duels. He's also a center back that has shown that he's very comfortable on carrying the ball moving forward, which is always a huge plus. We have players like Christensen who can do that, Jules Koundé who can also do that, Eric Garcia that can do that, and now we're adding another center back on our list that's very comfortable on moving the ball. And often with the ball, he can beat his marker with his speed, and sometimes when he is in situations where he has the ball on the flanks, whether it's on the left side or right side, he can beat his marker with his speed. And that is why sometimes we saw him as a left back, is because he has enough athleticism, and that is always again a huge plus. And now we're here, right? Now we're here, and now we can say, can this player bring this to Spanish football? And I think that Xavi Hernandez does really trust him, because earlier today there was an image that did show that Xavi was actually testing a center back duo of Araujo and Faye, which does make a lot of sense, because if we talk about these two players and you have them paired up, you have a good balance of technique, which is Faye, and physicality, which is Araujo. And again, it makes complete sense. This is a center back that is left-footed, and so when we have occasions where Alejandro Balde needs to go forward to join the attack and we have to form a back three, Faye can be the left center back with Araujo as the center back, and then Jules Koundé being the right center back. And then when it is asked for our left center back to push up forward, maybe join the attack for like whatever reason, right, Faye can do that, like because we have discussed, Faye has played as a left back before and he looked very comfortable on doing so. So because Xavi's already testing the center back duo, maybe we could see this happen during the preseason, and we'll see how he does play. Moving on towards the next player, and that is going to be Gundogan. Now, I'm not saying that we should analyze Gundogan because he could be somebody special. We know that he's special. We know that he is top quality, a world-class player. He has just won the Champions League under the teachings of Pep Guardiola, which is very important. But what does excite me the most, and I know that many of us want to find out, is what role is Xavi going to give him? Because there has been a debate on whether Gundogan is going to be an interior for Barcelona or a central defensive midfielder for Barcelona and play right next to Frankie de Jong. And in my opinion, I think that he will rotate, but most likely see the CDM position, because Gundogan has played as a central defensive midfielder before. He has done that with Germany, being paired with Joshua Kimmich, another player that Barcelona have been eyeing. Now, you may say that, no, that wouldn't work, like pairing Gundogan and Frankie de Jong and placing them as our double pivots. It just wouldn't work because Gundogan is not a destroyer. But the thing is that Sergio Busquets was also not a destroyer, and we do call him the best central defensive midfielder in the world, and he was that for us at Barcelona. And I think that if Gundogan, right, and especially like at Barcelona, right, if you want to succeed as a CDM at Barcelona, you need to know how to anticipate and intercept. Those two words are very key. Anticipate for the ball and intercept, something that Sergio Busquets was really good at. Gundogan can do exactly that, and not only that, but also protect the ball in very deep areas, which is why I really do rely on this player to be one of our double pivots and being linked with Frankie de Jong. Frankie and Gundogan, because of their football IQ, they are ball winners. They can win the ball very fast, and they know exactly where to anticipate and when to anticipate the ball. So I'm very excited to see Gundogan in the preseason. Moving on towards player number 3, and that will be Abde. Now, it was said about 5 to 6 to 7 days days ago, according to Roger Torreo, that Abde did decide to cut short his vacation by 2 weeks, and he will join the squad very soon, which is why we do see him today with the players at the moment. Like right now, at the time of this video, Abde is still supposed to be on vacation, but he is with us at the US tour and could be even starting against Juventus. And one of the reasons why he was given that 2-week vacation, even though he cut it short, right, and he was still supposed to be out there just enjoying his vacation, one of the reasons why they gave him such a long break is because he also played with his national team, the under-23 Morocco team. But Abde did not want to wait. He really wanted the return, and it was also said that Xavi Hernandez is going to give Abde a lot of chances because he's very much liked by him. So you can see that Abde is desperate to do well. He is coming back from a very successful loan with Osasuna. He did take part in Osasuna's success in the Copa del Rey. He is one of the reasons on why they were able to go all the way to the final and play against Real Madrid. They ended up in 7th place in La Liga, and so you can see that he was battling for a lot of wins, and he has a lot of experience. And like I've said, like he was with the under-23 Morocco team, and he was the top scorer of that tournament, and Morocco won the tournament. So he has gained a lot of experience in the past 6 to 7 months ever since he was released to go on loan to Osasuna and play with the national team. And so look, I know that we have discussed that Joao Felix should be coming in and reinforce the left wing position, but if Abde does well and he really does fire up these next 6 games, right, he scores 4 to 5 goals in the next 6 games and he impresses Xavi Hernandez, I would really consider his stay, because these next 6 games, they're not going to be easy. We're going to be playing against Juventus, Arsenal, Real Madrid, etc., AC Milan, and knowing that Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres are not that stable right now, they're very unstable. We don't know how they will be performing. Abde is very much necessary. I think that mentally Abde beats Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati easily, right? Very easy. In terms of talent and how far they can go, obviously Ansu Fati is higher than Abde, but the mentality of the game is going to take you so far, right? Just ask Ronaldo. One of the reasons why he was so successful as a footballer is because his mentality was elite, and I think that that is why Abde has been able to do so well, and it's going to take him very far if he continues to mentally prepare for every game like this. And so I'm not surprised to hear that Xavi Hernandez does trust Abde, because Xavi was the one that really gave him the trust on saying, hey look, I'm going to place you in this moment of the match and I'm going to need you to deliver, and Abde did deliver. I don't know if you guys remember, but like a year ago, Xavi did place Abde in a game against Osasuna, coincidentally enough, and he scored one of the goals that led towards Barcelona recovering points. So we'll see what happens. Don't be surprised and don't be like shocked to hear that there's a club right now that is willing to bid for Abde for like 40 million euros or 30 million euros. We will hear those type of stories during the preseason while Abde has a great preseason, and it's going to be up to Joan Laporta and Mateo Lamine to say, what should we do with Abde? Should we sell him? Because it would be a great sell. So a lot of discussions will be taking place, but again, Abde is going to be one of the top players to look out for in the preseason. And now lastly, I want to end it with this. It is going to be Lamine Yamal. You probably thought that I forgot about this player, but no, I did not. Lamine Yamal is a great player. He's only 16 years old and he has a lot to give for the club. And he's, again, another very exciting player and a very young player. So raw. He's willing to evolve, improve his game. We can do so much. And I'm excited to see what Xavi could do with Lamine Yamal. Not too long ago, also, Lamine Yamal did sign his contract extension, his renewal. That's going to take him until June 2026. At that same day, Alejandro Balde also renewed his contract. It kind of just shows you the importance and how well they see Lamine Yamal at the moment. And so he has signed his first professional contract. It was said that in the past like 2 weeks, every time Lamine Yamal was training with the squad members, many were just like shocked to see just how well he was doing with the first team. It was said, according to a reporter, that his teammates, some of who are twice his age, were unable to stop him. They say that he has been crazy during the training sessions. Albert Rogue has also stated this: Lamine Yamal will be in the first team dynamics under Xavi's orders. He will definitely play for Barcelona Athletic, but there are going to be times where he is going to be calling him to the first team. So I think it's safe to say that he has over-exceeded his expectations. And this guy is only going to continue to evolve. And I say this because I remember back when he was like 14, 15 years old, back in the 2021-2022 season, he was being played as a number 7 and sometimes as a number 10 during the game. So he was very much like a false 9. And the only reason why they placed him as a false 9 is because they saw him as a creator, someone who can link up with the striker and also score goals. But he ended up being so good that he went from cadet to Juvenile A within a span of 1 year. And they were saying, okay, now that we have him in Juvenile A, he continues to like make all of these key passes. He knows how to dribble. I think that we should shift him somewhere else. And that is why today we hear that Lamine Yamal is a right winger. He went from being a number 7 to a 10 to all the way as a right winger, because many trainers saw him as too much of a creator and they wanted him in deeper areas. And all of these readjustments does make me conclude that that Lamine Yamal is still very young and his position can always change. Who knows? Xavi could say, I see Lamine Yamal as a left winger. I don't really see him as a right winger. Or he says, I see Lamine Yamal as a striker, or I see Lamine Yamal as someone who can play as an interior in the midfield. We never know. With a player this young and a coach this innovative, the craziest things could happen, which is why he is part of this list on the players that we should be looking out for in the preseason. We'll see what role is he going to be given, how he'll play. Remember that he did make his debut back in May and he played pretty well. He almost scored, and I think that he will score maybe about 1 to 2 goals during the preseason, hopefully against Real Madrid. Can you imagine that? For him to score against Real Madrid and the Clasico in front of all of those fans, and many people will be talking about him moving forward. So that is it. That will be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.